my friends from the Riders Alliance for being here as well. I won't give all their names. And we have an entrepreneur. Who's the entrepreneur?
That'd be me.
There, and an entrepreneur as well. Your name is?
Ashley.
Ashley.
And in the restaurant industry too.
Ashley, the entrepreneur. Okay. I want to thank everyone for being here. Now, we're here today because the city that never sleeps has a name we have to live up to everywhere, including within our subway service. Today, we're here to call on the MTA to get 24-hour service. We're here to call on the MTA to restore 24-hour service ASAP. Look, COVID-19, we know, took direct aim at New York City. It cost us lives, it cost us jobs, it cost us money. But we're here today more than a year later, and we can see light at the end of the tunnel, including the subway tunnel. There's light at the end of that tunnel as well. And the folks here with me today, an entrepreneur who started a business, riders, many people ride the subways late. We're a city that never sleeps. If you shut down the subway, you shut down a part of our city. And we can restore it and should restore it now. Newsflash, this is New York City. People work at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That's how we are. Again, so people work at 2, 3, and 4 in the morning, but subways aren't working at this point at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So today, joined by New Yorkers who are among the millions that use the subway, we are here to say, open it up 24/7. We want the subway to always run. New York's been famous for having a 24-hour subway service. New York's famous for having 24-hour subway service, and we're here to urge the MTA to restore that service ASAP, as said by our signs. 24/7 service. New York City is a 24/7 service city. Our subways should be a 24/7 service subway. And let me just say, I understand the duress that the subways were under early on. But now they're back. The one thing they'll have to do is hire more workers to clean the trains as the ridership goes up and as the service goes on. But guess what? Through the hard work of our New York delegation, which I led, we have gotten over $15 billion to the MTA. They can use a little bit of that money to open things up 24/7 and hire the new workers who will clean the trains and keep them safe and spick and span. Okay? That's the bottom line. So let me just go on here. Okay. We also want to make sure that the Long Island Railroad doesn't surprise riders with service cuts. We need to keep our mass transit going. Now, we have 3 subway signals giving the green light to 24/7 service. 1, a massive swipe surge. More people are swiping than ever before. 2, the 7-day COVID average, way down. 3, the number of shots in the arm in New York, way up. We're ready to go back to 24/7. Let me go over those 3. The 3 subway signals. Swipes, COVID average down, shots in the arms up. According to the MTA, 2.1 million subway trips occurred in the transit system on Friday, April 23rd. That's a week ago. That was a new high. We're not up to the high we will be, but we will. And if we get the service going, more riders will swipe, and more riders will ride, and more riders will know. So that's number 1. That was a new high. And ridership has consistently hovered about the 2 million mark or higher since April 9th, as I said. The 7-day average. Second, we are down 42% in COVID cases from last week, 42%. That's a continuous fall. Hospitalizations and deaths are down more than 20%. And by shots in the arm now in New York City, 35% of all our folks are fully vaccinated. Many more have had 1 vaccine. And that means that last month I announced a vaccine supercharge. We announced that community health centers in poorer neighborhoods were getting the vaccines. Drugstores were getting the vaccines. Now people are taking them and getting them. And the number keeps going up. And I am so proud to say that our minority community, our people of color, have done a great job spreading the word. and there is far more eagerness or less hesitancy to take the vaccines in those communities, which understandably were dubious at first, since people of color had been used as guinea pigs in previous vaccines. Okay, so that's the bottom line. We've given them the money. They have the money to do this. They even have money to begin on their capital repairs. I'm going to keep fighting for more money for the MTA. I am. I believe in it. But they gotta get to work and reopen. Okay? Who's speaking, Angelo?
Someone from Riders Alliance?
Who's the designated, not rider, designated speaker? Great.
Thank you, Senator.
Just tell them your name.
I will. I'm Betsy Plum. I'm here representing the Riders Alliance. We are
She has a great name. Plum. I love her. Angelo has a plum hat.
Wonderful. We're here today about plums and 24/7 subway service. We represent subway and bus riders fighting for a better public transit system in New York City. We are so grateful to the senator for joining the call to restore 24-hour service. This week marks a year since the governor halted overnight subway service. That is a decision that has impacted tens of thousands of workers and riders, and now imperils our ability to fully reopen. As the senator said, we are the city that never sleeps because we're supposed to have a subway that never sleeps. We need 24-hour service restored now, and we are calling on the governor to do that immediately. This is so that workers don't have to add 3 hours to their commute. This is so that workers who are keeping our city running don't have to pay $40, $50, $60 for cabs. This is so that workers don't have to string together a 5-bus commute. We need 24-hour service. We have won, as the senator said, billions of dollars for riders. We need to get riding again and have the service that we need. Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you, Betsy Plum. Oh, what a nice name. Elizabeth Amelia Plum. Very nice. And now we have Ashley, the entrepreneur, whose last name I don't know.
Alan.
Ashley Allen, another really nice, euphonious name. Thank you, Ashley. What's your middle name?
Paige.
Whoa, Ashley Paige Allen. Beautiful name. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. A little nervous.
Don't be nervous. Do you want me to hold that for you in the meantime?
Sure.
Great. When you need it, call me.
Okay.
Thank you.
So first off, my name is Ashley, and I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I want to thank you, Chuck, for everything that you've done for the subways. During COVID, he brought the MTA $14.5 billion in relief. So what should the MTA do? I think that they should use it. I am a restaurant employee. I work for a distributor. And with the curfews ending, how are we going to get home for the bars that are going to be allowed to be open till 4 a.m.? Ubers are too expensive, and we can't be stranded. So,
You want to hold up your...
yeah. In the meantime, during COVID, I created a business called CD Bean. I'll be delivering plants and other things, which I'll also need the subway for the late night deliveries, for the doorman buildings, to keep my costs down. So,
How's the business doing?
well, I did get a COVID about a month ago after my vaccine.
Oh, golly.
So,
Slow it down. Well, yeah, it's a very nice business. CD Bean. Are they on, is that the website?
yeah,
cdbean.com. For the
cdbean.com.
website to help Ashley Paige Allen with her new business.
Thank you. So I just think it's essential and necessary that we have 24/7 subway service.
Great. You
So-
did great. Let's hear it for Ashley. Okay, questions on this subject, as they say in Brooklyn, feist.
Do you have any concerns? Because a lot of people have been saying how clean the subway is because of that 3-hour window.
Yeah.
Are there any concerns that you...
No, we checked with the authorities. All they got to do is hire some more cleaners, and they can keep it clean like 24/7.
And Senator, I wanted to point out that the union is here.
Oh, TWU, do you want to say something?
Say a few words.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, Senator Schumer. No worries.
We love TWU. Local 100 is the biggest local. It's the biggest local in the country of transportation.
It is absolutely 46,000 members strong. I am Zach Archidiacono, Division Chair for Subway Train Operators for Transport Workers Union Local
Now it's a
100.
quiz. Spell his last name for us.
A little less easy than the other names. Last name is spelled Archidiacono, and I can't thank Senator Schumer enough for all the leadership he's provided in getting funding for transit nationwide and here in New York City. My message today is simple. Transport Workers Union Local 100 stands with the working class riders of New York City in the demand to restore 24-hour subway service. We need 24-hour service for a full recovery for our city. Restaurant and bar restrictions are being lifted. That means last call in New York will be 4 a.m. We need to bring back that 24-hour subway service, both for the patrons and for the workers. And if I could add just one last thing, we do need more hiring of cleaners.
Yes.
I've got about a dozen union members. Some of them have been off the payroll for over a year with no unemployment benefits, waiting to get cleaner positions. So I can't wait for that funding to come through and to get my union members back on the payroll cleaning these trains. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you, Senator.
It'll be up to the MTA, but they have more than enough money to do it.
Senator, they've said that this cleaning process comforts riders. It could help bring ridership back faster.
What'll comfort riders best is that our subway service is back to the way it was before COVID.
What about these no bid contracts that they authorized last year under emergency order?
Well,
$300 million in cleaning to pay workers.
I'll have to check. I'll have to check those out. I'm not familiar with them.
But do you expect them to hire?
I would hope that they would. Look, they can work with the union. There are cleaners already who are laid off who they should hire, and the union's very good at getting them good new workers.
Governor Cuomo, if you talk to him, do you expect him to reopen the subway system?
I hope he will. I hope he will. He hasn't said so yet.
What do you expect him to do first, resign or reopen the subways?
Next question.
For the senator and for Zach, for the past year, during the closure, to help homeless people have better options, there's been 3 rules that were temporarily put in place. That you can't stay in a station more than an hour, that you have to get off at the end of the line, last stop, like Coney Island, you can't just go back and forth. You can go back and forth, you have to get off. And there's no large carts. Zach, do you support those 3 rules? Senator Schumer, do you support continuing?
I'll have to look at them. I haven't studied them.
Senator, your 3 rules, the 3 rules can be countered with 3 signals.
Yeah, well, I gave my 3 signals. Yeah, I'll get back to you. We'll have to get you an answer, okay? I don't have it yet. Do you want to? You don't.
I'll
Go
say
ahead.
a few words.
Go ahead, Zach.
We did tragically lose a train operator a year ago in a fire, more than a year ago in a tragic fire on the train. And so we do want a safe subway system, but I think the main thing here is we need social solutions and not law and order solutions. We need social solutions, we need affordable housing, we need mental health services, and we need to get these subways open again. We do need some common sense enforcement. I'm not going to argue with that. We need some common sense enforcement so we can have safety for the riders and the workers. Thank you very much.
Okay. And that is Zach's view. Any other questions on this subject?
What are your thoughts on the issue of homelessness? That was one of the main reasons this closure happened.
Yes, we have gotten now, and this is something new, we have gotten $5 billion in the ARP bill for homeless services and $5 billion in addition for vouchers. That is going to help a huge amount in dealing with our homeless problem. $10 billion, more than the federal government has ever put in to helping the homeless. And the way the formula is going to work, New York is going to get a nice big chunk of that.
Senator, when was the last time you rode the subway?
No, you're next.
The MTA has said before that they cannot clean subways without completely clearing them out. What is your reaction to that?
They've cleaned the subways for years and years and years, 24/7. Then they can go back to doing it that way. Okay? Good.
Okay, we'll take a couple off. Is there any else?
Off topics? No. You're.
There are still a lot of places, like restaurants.
You can't ask 3 questions before people ask 1 or 2. Okay? You'll get your questions. Yep.
Places are still not opening their bathrooms, and a lot of people are saying, like, where do you go? Is there something that can be done, or a statement that they should open their
I'll have to look into that. I'm not. I'd have to give you an answer. I wanted to give you an answer where I study it. Okay? Okay. All right. Anyone else before our questioner? What's your name? What? Clayton. Yeah, I know you. Oh, what'd you drink this morning, Clayton? You had a lot of coffee.
When was the last time you rode the subway? When was the last time you rode it overnight?
I have not ridden overnight in a long time, but I rode the subway in the last week or two. I ride the subway fairly often. What I do, frankly, is I go on bike rides. I'm not a spandex person. I go very nice and slow. And when I get tired, the subway's very accommodating, and I can take my bike on the last car or the front car, and they allow you got to tell the conductor, you know, the person at the booth, and they let you in. You swipe first, and they let you in. So, okay? So the subway, I got to commend them. They've been very accommodating for bike riders like me. I like to ride far up to the Bronx, and then I'm too tired to ride home, so I get on the subway. Okay? Okay. Do you have another one, Clayton?
Congressman Richie Torres is proposing legislation that would change some of the regulations over Amtrak that would require them to fix in place any tunnel project where it's possible. That would include the Hudson River tunnels and include the East River.
Yeah, no, I am of the view that we ought to go forward with the plan that has been submitted. The EIS is going to be ready probably this month, and I don't want to start all over again. We've done that too many times.
So you don't think they should fix Hudson River tunnels in place?
I think I rely on Amtrak itself. I have a lot of faith in Mr. Kosha, and he says his plan is the best way. I don't tell them what to do.
What about the London Bridge Associates report that suggests that it may not be the best way?
Well, I answered your question the way I answered it. And Mr. Aronson agrees with me now. No, he doesn't.
We'll find out Monday.
We'll find out in the next editorial.
Senator, the House is expected to take up the voting rights bill in May.
Yes, May 7th, first week we get back.
Where does it go beyond there, and do you see that as the bill that kind of breaks the filibuster?
Well, let me just say this. S1 is extremely important, and what these Republican legislators are doing in certain states, taking away people's right to vote, is nothing short of despicable. Whoops. Is nothing short of, I want to say that without my mask, is nothing short of despicable. When you lose an election, what you're supposed to do in a democracy is figure out why you lost and try to win those people back over. What they're doing is try to prevent them from voting. Many of them poor people, many of them people of color, many of them young people, many of them urban people. So we are going to put S1. S1 is going to be voted on by the committee on Monday. It will be voted on by the floor of the Senate. We hope our Republican colleagues will join us, because this is just democracy and common sense. If not, everything will be on the table. We must get it done.
Along those same lines, obviously the census count showed, New Yorkers, a couple dozen more would have responded to the census. New York may not lose a congressional seat. Do you have concerns with the work of the Trump administration to kind of hamper the census?
Yes, I think we put a lot of money in the budget for the census. We put about $3 billion, I think it was, and they didn't use it adequately. At the federal level, Trump tried to get in the way, and I do have concerns. I think if there were a fairer administration, we wouldn't be in this position.
Is there any recourse?
There's a lawsuit, and we are looking if there are other recourses. Yeah, we are looking if there are other recourses.
You have a Zoom now.
What?
We're done. You have a Zoom.
Yes. No, I don't have a Zoom. We have a great rally in Flushing about anti-Asian violence, which I welcome everyone but Clayton to join me on.
Senator, if we could just hold your photo up one more time with all your friends.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do it a little closer to the subway sign.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Let's do it right now.